We have, led by the High Commissioner here in Sri Lanka, a significant team of people who work on a day-to-day basis with our counterparts here. And as I say, much of that work is targeted at defeating people smugglers in their attempts to put together ventures taking money from innocent men, women and children who will never make it to Australia. Australia has just held a recent election and the government has been re-elected. And on that basis, our policy in relation to the protection and security of our borders has not and will not change. We've been very clear and consistent in our message over a long period of time that Australia is a very generous nation. We take a number of people through our refugee and humanitarian program each year. In fact, on a per capita basis, the most successful nation behind Canada in the world in terms of the numbers of people we bring in, but we will never bring in people by boat. People who come to Australia through our visa program, through our refugee and humanitarian program, come by plane. They make application through the High Commission or through our government and through the visa process, and those visas will be assessed on their merit and we will decide who comes to our country in those circumstances. But we will not allow people to arrive in Australia by boat. The 20 people who were on that vessel were screened and they were found not to be owed protection, and we worked closely with the authorities here in Sri Lanka for travel documents to be issued for those people to be returned back to Colombo. So that's what's taken place, and Operation Sovereign Borders works in a number of ways. As I say, we have the second most generous intake of people in our refugee and humanitarian program than, as I say, any other country in the world except for Canada. So we're very proud of that. But on the other hand, the other side of the equation, we've been very clear and consistent for a long period of time that people will not come by boat. And our very close working relationship with the Sri Lankan government means that anybody that attempts to come by boat will be rapidly returned back to Sri Lanka, and they'll be without the money that they've paid the people smuggler. So they'll be in a worse position when they return, which is incentive, I think, for people not to pay money and not to engage with people smugglers, because people smugglers are criminals and they are lying if they tell you that you can get to Australia.